Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I am Conostep and this is going to be part 29 of my early campaign where I'm playing as the Almohads. And I've had quite a few slow episodes lately in this campaign because things have been going very well. However, because my Glorious Achievements points have just taken quite a dip when it comes to production. I've gone from producing, 24, then 14. And now the points for the Alhambra, I believe that's not going to count anymore because that's already been counted. And I will be getting points from the Iberian Almohad civilization because I do have more than 30 buildings in all of these provinces here. And this is going to be counted again once in the year 1320 and then once again in the year 1453, which is the last year of this campaign. So that's going to give me another 12 points altogether. 6 each time that is counted, but I'm only going to be making 4 points for my homeland's objectives, and that's quite a huge hit because this is only going to be counted for the Iberian Almohad civilization. That's only going to be counted 2 more times. The homeland's objectives, that's going to be, a lot of my points here, right? That's going to be another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 counting sessions. And I'm only going to be making 2 points off conquests as well, at least for the time being. So that means it's going to be time that I start to look at my enemies and see who needs to be taken down a peg and possibly even destroyed so that they don't catch up to me. And overall, I'd say there's probably 4 factions that I have my eyes on that I might go after. 2 of them being the Hungarians and the Poles, who are, neighbors and they're in the same regions. And in that way, they'd be maybe kind of easy to take out. Honestly, there's not a ton here from the Poles that looks a little bit too scary for me. They do have some armies here in Moldavia. And what do they have? So they have some crossbowmen. Slav warriors are basically peasants, honestly. Armored spearmen are a solid second tier spearmen. And mounted crossbows is a good unit as well. But I'm not seeing anything that's really too scary here. If I keep looking around. And yeah, nothing that I don't think I can't beat here from the Poles. And then they do have some forces here in Kiev as well. But other than that, if we look at here, Poland, Volhynia, Prussia, Pomerania, Brandenburg, and Silesia, Silesia? There's really not too much, right? So I feel like the Poles could be gotten rid of in a somewhat short campaign. They do have the Mongols here to their north, but the Mongols look a little bit weak as well. It would be kind of a dangerous spot for me to be in the sense that maybe the Mongols might attack me. Maybe. They don't have a ton of strength. That's the thing. But that is a danger. The Hungarians, on the other hand, have a few forces here in Croatia and then Serbia. And what do they have? So it's javelin men, some jalbagis, some more javelin men, and some Z Kellys, some decent horse archers. I think they're a pretty good horse archer unit, actually. And I mean, see, I'm not really seeing too much. Yeah, some Vivius crossbows, some feudal sergeants. Nothing too scary here. And then same with these armies as well here in Serbia. Nothing too intense. And I don't think they're at war with anyone. The Hungarians, I feel like they have... I don't know if they've been at war with anyone this entire campaign. I feel like they would be the safer faction to fight up against because going after the Poles does put me, next to the Mongols. But going up against the Hungarians... What would I have to worry about? This 2-stack Byzantine army here in Bulgaria? Well, I don't know, because they're kind of pressured themselves. And what about this 3-stack German army here in Austria? Again, I don't know if they would really attack because the Germans kind of have a pretty small little nucleus here. And they might be dealing with their own problems. Are the Germans at war? Okay, actually they're not. The Germans are not at war. So if I do create an opportunity here, they might kind of dogpile in and help me take out Hungary, which I'm totally fine with. I'm not trying to hang on to territories here. I'm just trying to actually get rid of the factions themselves. Now, would that be a good or bad thing? Well, the Germans actually are not too far behind the Hungarians in points. They have 101 points, while the Hungarians have 106. So, by strengthening them, that wouldn't be that deal, would it? So, that is worth thinking about. But the appeal to dealing with the Hungarians and the Poles is that it does seem like these are two factions that would be relatively easy to deal with. They don't have a ton of boats in the water as far as their navies are concerned. I'm seeing some Polish boats up here in the Baltic and Skagerrak, and yeah, the Poles do have some boats, but nothing. So like these are the Danes, right? To hover over it a bit. And yeah, so these are the Danes, and yeah, you can also tell it's really confusing with the Danes and the English and the Poles. The Poles are bottom red, top white. The Danes are the opposite, so top red, bottom white. And then the English are red and red when you're looking at the bases for the navies and armies. So it can be a little bit confusing, but also you can kind of tell because the Danes have like this like lion thing holding an axe as their little mascot, and then the Poles have this eagle thing as their mascot. So that's kind of a couple ways you can tell the differences between these factions. So anyway, yeah, I'm not seeing, I mean, yes, the Poles do have some boats in the water, but nothing too crazy. And I don't even know if the Hungarians have any boats in the water. Ooh, actually, wait, these are, okay, so yeah, these are all Danes. Yeah, the Danes have some boats in the water for sure. Yeah, but I'm not worried about them, right? Yeah, the Danes only have 61 points. So I'm not too worried about the Danes catching up in points, even though they do have, you know, they are my neighbors now. But I feel like they're kind of dealing with their own stuff. I mean, the French are still here. Are the Danes, who are the Danes at war with? No one. Okay, so I wonder if, is everyone at peace now? Is it just me and the Egyptians? Yeah, it is. Wow, that's crazy. Okay. So yeah, if you did miss the last episode, the Egyptians got a little cheeky with it and did attack me. I think they just attacked one of my boats and then I sunk it. But what I did do is that I marched into here, and by march I mean took my boats into here to Palestine. And then I burned down their Rabat, I believe. Yeah, they had a jihad marker, and so I burned down their Rabat and caused an instant civil war against the Egyptians. The Sultan is right here. He has one influence, so he's having a hard time. And of this huge army here in Egypt, two of these stacks have gone rebel. So that's going to be, you know, a lot of trouble for them, and they're not going to be in a position to attack me here in Cyrenaica. So that's wonderful, because I'm going to take 5 turns to rebuild that port, so I can take this army back here to Cyrenaica. I mean, it is tempting. I guess I could kind of go on a little raiding party and destroy some buildings. That's another option. But I'm going to need to build this port regardless, because I mean, I don't know. Yes, maybe I could march my way back through Europe or Egypt, but that could be kind of a tough fight. So, maybe not. My goal really is just to build that port, leave Palestine, and then get that ceasefire. Now, my trade is okay considering that I'm not trading with the Egyptians. Making almost 4 grand is like, okay. I mean, it's pretty good, right? And I'm sitting at 174,000 in my treasury. So that's, you know, that's all good stuff. But I'm not too worried about the Egyptians catching up in points anytime soon. They will eventually. Like, this is pretty good, right? So they're another option for me to have to deal with eventually. So I'm thinking about the Poles, the Hungarians, and then the Egyptians. I feel like they're going to be able to deal with this civil war and then kind of just keep carrying on. And they might keep being annoying and keep trying to attack me. So that's why it's tempting, actually, to kind of finish this off between me and the Egyptians. And their neighbors are weak. They have this rebel army as a buffer between them and the Mongolians. And then the Byzantines are weak, the Turks are weak, and that's it. You know, then it's me. So yeah, it's you know, that's another thing for me to think about, is attacking the Egyptians. And then there's the real wild card. And this was advised to me that I should deal with Sicily. It's really not a bad idea, but man, Sicily is... It looks like a tough fight. It really looks like a tough fight. And part of the reason, there's a few reasons for that. One of the reasons is because they have some major stacks in the water. Look at this. They got a lot of boats here in the English Channel. And a lot of them are weak boats. But these fire galleys are their tier 3 boats. I believe that my tier 3s do have better stats. So let's look at 3120. And then let's look at one of my booms. 4320. Yeah, so I have better stats than everything except for speed, which is the same. So still though, just based on numbers, I would think that it's going to be some tough fights. So I do need to keep building boats. Like, I need to prepare for this. And one of the reasons why it was advised to me, or should I say the main reason why it was advised to me that I should handle or take care of Sicily, is because I suppose they do have a aggressive tendencies. So in Shogun, what would happen is that all of the daimyos basically had these innate personalities that dictated how they would strategize on the strategy map, and it is my understanding that that was carried over to the factions here in Medieval 1 as well, where the factions do have these personalities actually that kind of dictate how they fight. And if there's a certain faction that's passive, that's how they play. And if the Sicilians are aggressive, which is what I'm seeing, of course, then that would indicate that they will attack at some point. And in addition to all of that, as we just checked, they are not at war with anyone. So yeah, it looks like they could go after someone. And by someone, that could be me. And of these giant-ass fleets that they have, quite a few of them are kind of bordering territory that I, sort of have. So this is definitely something that's on my mind. Like, look at this. Like, that's huge. So that's 8 plus 10. So that's 10 boats. 10 boats right there. Another 9 there. And then what do they have here? Jesus, that's a lot. 10, 11 plus this. Is that 2? Is that? No. So 2 plus 8, 9, 10, 11, 13 boats. That's a lot. And this as well. So yeah, that's definitely something that I need to keep my eye on. But here's the reason why I'm tempted to ignore the Sicilians. If we look at this, that's not scary at all. The fact that they're making only 1 point off of homelands and then 3 points off of conquest, they're never going to catch up on that. Now, sure, these points could change, but that's really not scary at all. In addition to that, here's another reason why I'm not too keen on fighting the Sicilians. Look at their domain. It's kind of insane. Let's just start at the bottom, right? They have these islands here. Then they have Naples. Then they've kind of circumnavigated the Pope expertly to not get him involved and also keep him down so that he can't get involved. And then they move up through here and they snake their way in between the Italians, between the Germans, between the Danes, between the French. What else? Between the Danes again, between the Poles. And they go up here and then they just have a couple territories up here in the British Isles. And then just to top it all off, they've taken a few of the Danish home territories as well. So they have an insane territory that, part of me is tempted just because it's just so interesting, right? That'd be so interesting to fight them because what do you attack? What do you attack to go after the Sicilians? Now, do I have to take all of their territories to defeat them? No, of course not. No. I could think of a creative way to, hurt them. Really hurt them. And maybe even just killing their family members is an option as well. Or maybe even just killing their fleets is an option. Right? Like maybe just stick with phase 1. I can build a big-ass fleet. I can attack their fleets. Mess them up. Try to get a ceasefire. And go from there. Maybe that's all it takes, really. It's just to kind of hold their heads underwater, kind of keep them down a little bit and then not attack anything that they actually own. that's seems more realistic, honestly, because, you know, like this is it's kind of insane, isn't it? It just feels like it's not just their armies, it's just, yeah, I mean, they're decent armies too, now that I'm looking at it. You know, chivalric sergeants are not bad. They have some guns as well. Oh man. Man, I shouldn't look at this, because the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm tempted I am to fight them. Yeah, so it would be a fun fight. It really would be. It'd be a really interesting, fun little campaign to target the Sicilians. But it could also be a doozy. A real doozy. And what I'm worried about is that if it was just them, right? If it was just me versus the Sicilians, and yes, also focusing on the Sicilians' neighbors, and just, you know, kind of keeping them off of me, the French, the Danes, the Germans, the Pope, you know, the English, and just to make sure that they don't like dogpile me while I'm trying to take out the Sicilians. That's just one thing, right? That's just one part of this. But during all of this, I have to assume the Egyptians, with their weak-ass neighbors, the Egyptians might still keep pestering me throughout this whole thing. And their points will catch up eventually, although they only have 87 now, so quite a bit, well, I mean a little bit lower than the Hungarians and the Poles. They will catch up, you know, if they keep making, you know, what they're making now. What are they missing? So yeah, they need Cyrenaica. Oh yeah, Antioch and Palestine. So like that's their territories. As soon as they solve this civil war, that's going to be an extra 4 points that they're going to be making. That's a lot. The Egyptians will be catching up relatively soon. And with their weak neighbors, I mean, they're basically a superpower, right? They're a superpower along with me. So they're not going to stop pestering me. And I own one of their homeland's objectives, which is Cyrenaica. You know, this is a province that they could be making 2 points off of, but they're not because I own it. So that's going to keep drawing us into conflict together. And then, yes, throughout all of that, there is still going to be the Poles and the Hungarians, which are also going to be racking up fat points, and they have more points than the Egyptians. So, yeah, I feel like this is the route, because I feel like these are guys that's going to be a little bit faster. I feel like it's going to be a war where I can kind of zip in there and mess them up, destroy their faction, maybe neighboring factions kind of dogpile and help me eliminate them, and then I move out. So it's going to be about speed, right? Whether I'm dealing with the Sicilians and just destroying their navies, or whether I'm invading Hungary or Poland and trying to just blitz their territories, those ideally, theoretically, would be quick campaigns. The Egyptians, I feel like there's nothing quick about this. Just because they have a few territories, and yeah, I guess, I mean, that's mostly that, right? It's just they have a few territories. So I feel like this is kind of like a boss battle territory, where I kind of leave the Egyptians for last, maybe. That's going to be the idea, perhaps. In any case, whatever I end up doing here, I'm going to want to spend, and this is what I was already kind of had my mind on, was I was looking at the year 1350 as being sort of the year that I make my move, just to give me more time to get my treasury up. I wanted to get it, you know, higher, well, a lot higher than this, but if I can at least get it up to, you know, still above 200,000, that'd be pretty good before I begin my next set of wars. But in addition to that, I do also, well, want to keep building on my navies, right? And that's going to, I suppose, help me make my decision. If I'm feeling pretty good about my navy in the year 1350, and I'm thinking, okay, let's go, Sicily. Let's just stomp. Let's just navy on navy. Let's go. And if I'm feeling good about that, then maybe that's going to be the route that I go. If my intel is correct and the Sicilians actually are super aggressive, then maybe they're going to make this choice for me. And that's never really ideal when it comes to naval combat, because they can put their boats in sea regions that's going to favor their conflicts, and they can, you know, destroy a lot of my boats by initiating that war. It's not ideal. It's not ideal. But it's just, quite frankly, it's not a war that I can start right now, just because I need more booms. I need more of my third tier boats in the water before I feel confident in fighting that naval engagement. So there's that. Other than that, so that's going to be my big decision coming up, and it's not going to be made in this episode. If you have any advice or input on this one, I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts. So yeah, it's going to be coming up. Other than that, though, I'm taking it relatively easy on soldiers that I'm training up. I am training up guns here in Cyrenacia. I'm still working on artillery, I think. I got some artillery going. I'm building my boats. I got my Pavis crossbows being trained up here in Morocco. Other than that, though, I'm mostly just retraining soldiers, because I am getting these nice provinces here with their metalsmiths, which is giving me my plus armor, and then plus armor, and then plus weapons. And then I also have my Great Mosque or Grand Mosque finished here in Leon. So any soldier trained here is going to be getting +3 morale, which is going to be really good as well. In fact, I should probably get some imams going here. This is going to be my second tier religious agent. So an imam is a hugely learned man, one who has spent his life in studying the Islamic faith. His presence in a province does much to inspire faith and zeal among Muslims. So yeah, let's go ahead and get some of these guys out. And since they do raise zeal, maybe that's another unit that I can kind of use to sort of annoy the Egyptians. I'm trying to use my spies to do that, but unfortunately, a lot of their provinces do have border forts, and the ones that don't have border forts I can't access because the Egyptians don't have ports in the regions that I need to access these other regions. So for instance, like, if I wanted to go to Edessa, well, Edessa has a border fort. This is a perfect province for me to put a spy to create some issues for population loyalty. Well, how's it get here? How's he going to get to Edessa? Anatolia has a border fort. And they have the port, so that's what I would need, right? Trebizond has a port, right? You think I can use it? Well, they have a border fort as well. Now, it's not a guaranteed thing that spies are going to get caught by border forts, so I might just kind of brute force my way into it and try to get a spy to surpass these forts, and in the process, I'd probably lose a lot of spies while I'm trying to do that. But it might be worth it just to try to keep messing with the Egyptians' shit and keep them slowed down a bit. Because, yeah, there's not a ton of good opportunities for me otherwise. I can put a spy in Egypt and Sinai, and that's about it. Those are the only safe regions. Other than that, I'm going to be trying to sneak past border forts to get myself, or try to get my guys into good places where they can cause some trouble. The imams, however, they can go wherever they want. They're not going to get caught by border forts, so they can raise zeal in any province. Now, the whole zeal thing it's still kind of unknown for me. I haven't quite... I'm just kind of guessing that this is the way that it works. I think that zeal does coincide with that province's governor's piety. So if there's low piety on a governor that governs a province with high zeal, I believe that causes population loyalty issues. And if that's true, then what I can essentially do is I can use my imams to raise zeal. And actually, no, this doesn't work like Inquisitors, does it? Because with Inquisitors, they eventually raise the zeal so high that they burn the population, the zeal lowers, and then what happens is you have low zeal in provinces with governors with, was it hype? I'm getting a little confused here. So maybe, okay, so the idea with imams then is that I simply raise the zeal, and that way if there's a governor in that province that, he's governing that province and he has low piety, then that should cause some population loyalty issues. That's the idea anyway. So that's what I'm thinking. I'll try to see if that works, and Yeah, other than that though, don't think, let's see, what do I want to build here in Lyon? Master Spearmaker for +1 Valor for my Muawahid foot soldiers. That seems like a good idea. And then let's just go right on to the fortress so I can build my next tier of metalsmiths and armorers here in Lyon. And how about anywhere else? Am I building stuff in every province? I think I am. Not here in Cyrenacia. Do I need something here? Actually, yeah, because I am actually training my gun units here in Cyrenacia. And I believe I need my fortress so that I can get my upgraded gun building that's going to give my arquebusiers +1 Valor as well. And Valor is going to really help them out a lot with their accuracy so that they actually can get kills. And once they're getting kills, that they're actually going to have that morale debuff on the units they're shooting at. Well, how about this? The Egyptian Sultan now wants a ceasefire. Well, you know what, bud? My port in Palestine's not quite finished. So the answer is no. We will get a ceasefire eventually, but considering that I'm just going to be abandoning this province and then you're just going to be taking it off of me, there's no point in, you know, getting that ceasefire and then getting another war and then another ceasefire. That seems kind of pointless to me, so let's just give it just one more turn before this port's finished, and then I can leave this province and I can destroy all of these buildings in this province, except for that port, of course. And then all is good, so yeah, let's just give it a little bit more time here. I'm still making, yeah, 4,000 coins isn't bad. It looks like the Egyptians have cleaned up pretty much all of the issues regarding their civil war. So yeah, the only blight upon their territory is my own armies. But they have not attacked me, so yeah, they seem like they simply just want to get rid of me. So let's see, is there they're not at war with anyone, just me. Interesting. Ooh, okay. Okay, and they have actually built another jihad marker, so yeah, interesting. I will gladly get that ceasefire next turn, and then if they attack me, then I'm just going to have another target to go after, so that's going to feel pretty gosh darn good. Yeah, just keep giving me targets, you know, just keep giving me reasons to, you know, or ways to attack you. How is the influence on this Sultan? He's up to 2, that's not good. But he is 50, so he's going to be dying pretty soon. And speaking of aging leaders here, my guy's 54, and currently his eldest brother is 46, and that's kind of scary because that doesn't give Prince Idris's son enough time to become of age if he's not, you know, of age yet. And in fact, I don't even know if Prince Idris, he's not even married. So that's a little bit nerve-wracking. I wonder if my king's actual heir is Prince Abdullah, who's 3 years away from before he becomes of age. If that is the case, then where's my king? 3 years. So is he going to live to the age of 57? I hope so. I really hope so, because if his older brother became king, that would just be a little bit unfortunate. So a turn after the Egyptians attempt to get a ceasefire, they declare a jihad in Palestine. Okay, well that makes sense why they got that marker going. And yeah, I'm not too worried about that because I'm just simply going to... I mean, because now this port is finished here in Palestine, and they don't have any boats in the water, so what I could do is I could bring all of these armies up here. See, obviously I don't want this jihad to succeed, because that's going to give influence to the Egyptian Sultan. But what I can do is bring these armies up to Nicaea right now, and probably start another civil war, like back to back. How's the Sultan's influence? He is 2. So like, this isn't going to work out, bud. I don't think so, right? Because there's no way, I mean, they're not, like I can just do this right now. They're gonna have no chance to march down here and take back Palestine. So yeah, let's just go to Nicaea and destroy this robot. And yeah, I mean, well, while I still have possession of this province, I can destroy everything but the port, right? Like, that's gonna be okay, I think. Because I do want to go back to trading with them once this is all said and done. This is a lot of buildings, man oh man. Oof, this is a rough loss for the Egyptians. Yeah, they had a lot here. They invested a lot of money. Oh my goodness. And just like that, folks, this is too easy sometimes, and Egypt is making it too easy because, yep, that's it. Nicaea has been conquered. And let's see, Muslim bandits are here in Palestine, but that's just because of the population loyalty. Not too worried about that. Looks like there's going to be loyalists as well. Again, not too worried about it. Earthquake in Granada. Okay, that's kind of bad. Okay, nothing was destroyed, thank goodness. But income was halved. Again, not too big of a deal because Granada is not really my top moneymaker. There's no tradable goods there. They do have a gold mine, but overall, that's not going to be too bad. The King of Sicily has died from an illness, and oh my god, wow. Wow. Oh my goodness, that's it. That's it for Sicily. There was no heirs left for the king, and he died. So I believe all of their navies go away, right? Like their armies stay on the map as rebel armies, but I don't think navies stay on as rebel navies. I don't think that's the case. But I'm going to have to double check that here in just a second. Occam's razor. William of Occam has aided scholarship in the most simple and profound way. His proposal is that the simplest explanations of a problem is always the best explanation. With this one idea, Occam's razor, he has given scholars a rule for dealing with questions of nature, faith, and life. Negative 10% zeal in all English provinces. Okay, nothing really to do with me there. And the Swiss emerge. Okay, cool, awesome. This is exciting as well. So a warlord has been working in secret to establish a new faction. He has organized a rebellion and declared himself the new ruler. A number of other rebellions in progress have declared allegiance to his faction, and so it's just the one province being attacked, which is Switzerland. Yeah, so another faction is here. That's awesome. Prince Muhammad, lazy, that's too bad. -1 command and -1 acumen. Other than that, though, I don't think any of these generals are anyone that matters too much. Alright, let's take a look. What do I want to look at first? Okay, so Sicily, they're gone. And their navies, oh, look at that. It just looks so clean without those big old giant threatening navies. Oh my goodness, that feels amazing. That's amazing. And even if there is a faction reemergence, all of their points reset. So like it's not going to be there. You know, they have to start over from 0, which means basically they're done, right? Even if there's a reemergence, it's just going to be to cause more trouble for these other factions. Now, the Swiss are here as well. And I believe this is them. And yeah, Swiss are cool. Feudal men-at-arms. And what do they have here? Yeah, the Swiss Armored Pikemen. This is kind of their badass unit. And my understanding is it's a good unit, but I've never actually used it, and I've never fought against it, so I'm not really familiar. But yeah, Pikemen is a kind of a late campaign unit, and they're, you know, for those of you who don't know, pikes are really long spears, so because they have to hold the pike in 2 hands, they can't carry shields, so I think they're vulnerable to missiles, but again, I'm kind of going off of just kind of guessing around here. So Swiss pikemen are very effective against cavalry. The first 4 ranks of any pike unit can fight, and horses will not charge into a wall of pike points. Swiss pikemen are highly regarded thanks to their professionalism, but their solid formations can make them an easy target for missile fire. Yep, oh, there you go, right there. So yeah, there is going to be, I think it's 3 different types of pikemen in this game. So there's regular pikemen, which are, you know, pretty basic and kind of normal. Then there's a Swiss pikemen, and then Swiss armored pikemen, you know, obviously being the 2 upgrades to normal pikemen. And I don't have access to any of them as the Almohads. Those are just for Catholic factions. The Almohads can't use pikemen, and neither can the Byzantines, and neither can the Russians. So, boohoo for us, but good for them, I guess. So let's see. I mean, this is kind of a perfect opportunity for the Swiss to, Swiss to emerge, because the faction that's around Switzerland is gone now. You know, the Sicilians, they're all gone. So the Swiss just have to take out the rebels that are surrounding them. I mean, honestly, the rebels that are surrounding them are kind of decent, right? Halberdiers, feudal sergeants, chivalric sergeants, arbalesters, they're not bad armies. In the Swiss, I think do they have the 1 stack or do they have 2 stack? 2 stacks, but not like full stacks. Oh yeah, and Swiss halberdiers as well. Cool. So Swiss halberdiers are extremely well trained and disciplined, a product of the Swiss obsession with defending themselves. Although lightly armored, their halberds are very effective against most enemies. Unlike spears that are good for holding cavalry at bay, halberds inflict heavy casualties even against heavily armored opponents. So the way that polearms work in this game is that they're going to give you +3 attack when you're fighting cav and then +1 defense when you're fighting cav. And I'm pretty sure it's the opposite for pikes. I think pikes are +3 defense, well, +1 attack versus cav. And then spears, it's something else. It's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know, +2 defense, +1 attack. I don't know. I can't remember, but yeah, I know some of those things. I don't have everything memorized yet. But yeah, as I was saying, like they're just like the pikemen, where the Swiss pikemen are upgrades over the regular pikemen. The Swiss halberds are upgrades over the regular halberds as well. So if you're playing a faction in this central, like Western Europe area, taking Switzerland is a really good idea, just so you can actually train those units, because you can only train them in Switzerland. So it'd be a good idea to take Switzerland so you can train those units up. But again, I'm not going to face up against them. I mean, I will probably have to face off against them, but I'm going to have my guns, and I'm going to have my Ghazi infantry and my Moahid foot soldiers, and they're going to be ready to go and chop down some pikemen and some halberdiers. Now with the Sicilians out of the picture, I feel like the world's my oyster, kind of. Like, I feel so free now. The jihad should be gone, right? The jihad's gone. And the fact that there's not an immediate civil war is a little bit strange. So there's 0 influence on this sultan now. So why is there not another civil war? Is it just because they just had one? Can you not do like back-to-back civil wars or something? What's going on? Luckily, it is only going to take 2 turns before this garrison starves. And I'm going to be taking out some good generals here. 6-star general here. And then a 4-star general here. Yep, they're going to die. They're going to die for free. So that's going to be pretty bad for the Egyptians. They do have, you know, some forces here in Constantinople and Anatolia that they possibly could bring over to maybe attack me. But I don't know. I got 4 stacks, so like, maybe not. And in the meantime, while that's happening, I'm still looking around. Like, are these generals going to rebel? Like, I'm looking around and I'm not seeing anything too dicey for them. 4 points of loyalty is good enough, I think. Okay, here's a 0 loyalty, so he should rebel, right? This stack should rebel because our 1-star general has 0 loyalty. But this guy, like, how does this guy have 1 million loyalty? Like, come on, that's not fair. Let's just keep looking around here. Yeah, 3 loyalties, not like awful. Let's see, what's going on? Like, why do these guys have? I wonder. Oh, here's a 6-star general with 0 loyalty. Oh yes, rebel, please. I actually am a little bit keen to attempt a assault on this castle here in Nicaea, just because in my other campaign, in my Aragon campaign, I assaulted a castle here in Sicily, and I was able to keep my port. So I wonder if I'd be able to keep my port here if I did assault this castle here in Nicaea. I don't really... So I brought some mortars because I thought they'd be cute, and I only have 2 of them. In my experience, mortars are not great at attacking fortifications. However, I might still go in here and do it anyway, just to kind of show you guys a battle. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've had a battle in this campaign, I feel like, and just to kind of show off the mortars and, you know, just get in there and get my hands dirty a little bit. It's not going to be, you know, I'll probably lose more soldiers than it's worth, but it's also kind of worth it just for the experiment to see if I can actually keep this port by attacking this castle. Then I can, you know, learn something that way. So, and that's what this campaign is about. I'm still learning things here. I'm still figuring stuff out. So I'm gonna have to try some things, and I don't want to fall into patterns. It's too early for me, right? It's too early for me in my experience in this game to fall into patterns and to fall into laziness. I need to get my hands dirty a little bit, and just keep seeing if I can learn as much about this game as I can. And after all of that, I actually did forget to put an army together and actually assault Nicaea. Sorry about that, folks. That was such a tease. I completely forgot. I was focusing on other things, and I forgot to put a stack together and actually initiate the assault. So, yeah, my bad. There's no point in actually going through with it now in this case, because this castle is going to fall at the end of this turn. So it's just, I don't know, is there a point? I guess for the sake of experimentation, yes, I probably could still go in there and see if I get to keep this port. So how about I do that like right now before I forget. And let's see, my prince has emerged, so, or heir, or what's the word? He's come of age, right. So let's take a look at him here in a second. Prince Abdullah, so hedonist, he's a little bit overweight. So it's going to be -1 valor, and then he's natural leader, so +2 morale, +1 loyalty. Okay, not bad. And then how is he? Yeah, 4 command, 4 command, not bad. 2 dread, 5 piety, okay, and plenty of loyalty. That's all not bad. And is he the next in line? Yes, he is. Thank God. Okay, so that's wonderful. I'd like to see all of that. Let's put him in Navarre so that I don't have, my king and then my next in line in the same province. So that's going to feel pretty good there. And then, right, before I forget, let's just put an army together here in Nicaea. Let's make sure that I have my 2 units of mortars first and foremost. And then after that, let's do, 4-star general. You get in here. And then I don't want to go too heavy with, what do I want here? So crossbows and arbalesters I find are pretty useless in castle assaults because they can't shoot over the heads of the guys in front of you. So it's better to bring regular archers, which it looks like I do have some. Yes, I do. So let's bring spears, archers, Ghazi infantry, and since they do have some camels and horses, let's make sure I bring my Muwahid foot soldiers as well, just because they have high attack. Ouch. And my income has taken quite a hit. I'm down to -444. Okay, interesting. That's a significant hit from what it once was. I mean, just a couple turns ago, I was making at least 3 grand, if not 4 grand, so is that all just from upkeep of my boats? I know I did build a few more boats and trained up a few more soldiers, but I didn't think that that would be enough to make that much of a difference. That is a bit concerning, so yeah, I'm gonna have to finish my business here in Nicaea. Hopefully that port does stay intact, and that will allow me to extricate my forces from Nicaea back here to Cyrenaica, and then try to get that ceasefire with the Egyptians. And yeah, hopefully we can go back to, being friends and going back to trading, because that negative income is a little bit concerning for sure. Also, I mean, yeah, I know I started building a lot of boats because of the Sicilian threat, but I guess I don't have to keep building those boats. So let's make sure that I go around and cancel these. I'll keep building the boats that I'm already in, the process of building, but that's all I'm gonna need, I suppose, because yeah, there's nothing else on the water. The Danes do have quite a few, like decent fleets, I suppose, but nothing like what the Sicilians have, so, or had, so yeah, I'm gonna have to get my income sorted out here. Here we go. This is going to be our castle assault in Nicaea, and they do have a couple units of Mamluk cavalry, which is a pretty decent, it's like a medium cavalry, but it has an armor-piercing attack because they use axes, I believe. So yeah, pretty solid overall. And then Bedouin camel warriors, of course, have a bonus versus cav. Luckily, I only brought my general cav unit, and he's not going to be going into melee, ideally, so that should not be much of an issue there. Their Abyssinian guards are two-handed axemen, and they're fairly elite, is my understanding. Like good morale, good attack, good bonus versus armor. But this army doesn't have too much armor, I don't think. So I don't think that's going to really factor into it much. And then they do have their Mamluk handgunners as well, which is the worst handgunner unit in this game. So should not have to worry too much about this unit. So let's just kind of get right on into it. And finally, let's get a battle in. It's been a while, so let's just kind of see. I need to remind myself how to fight in this game. Here we are in Icea. We're going to be fighting up against this castle, and for some reason I thought that it was a keep, but no, this is going to be a third tier castle. It's pretty stout looking, isn't it? I mean, yeah, 2 walls of concrete, or no, not concrete, but stone walls, and yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to get in here. We do have the mortars on either side, which are just in range of the outer wall, but they're not in range of the inner wall, and the reason why I do that is because if I bring them in a little bit closer, they're going to be in range of the arrow towers on this outer wall, and they can pick off the men that are manning my mortar crews, and then they won't be able to, you know, shoot their mortar anymore. So getting into the inner wall is going to be a bit tricky because I'm going to have to use my men to actually go up to the gatehouse and just burn it down with torches. That's always going to be a bloody affair just because a lot of them are going to be burned to a crisp using, you know, with the gatehouse like oil and stuff like that. So it's going to be pretty nasty, but I have a, you know, decent army here, and their garrison's not too scary. So let's just kind of go forward here, and we can start working on this front gate. And we may as well start marching up on our left side as well. Let's not forget mortars. Start shooting at the walls, and then you as well start shooting at this section. And this isn't completely ideal because they have impassable terrain on this side of the castle. So I can't go in. I like to kind of go in from both sides, like an angle where I can potentially get in behind any defenders here on the gate. But on this side, it's not going to really be that way. It's going to be going head on in here. But hopefully my mortars can get me inside. That's kind of all that's really important here. So let's make sure that my right flank is kind of moving up here. And are we getting any damage done? Let's see, Nubian Spearmen, go right up here and start working on this gate. I've archers are shooting, but I don't know if they're really going to be able to get much damage done here. I can keep some tabs on it and see if they are. But yeah, we'll see. And looks like I did get a hit on the wall there with that castle. And yeah, these guys are just kind of standing here taking shots. So let's put them in loose formation so that they take less damage from the arrow towers. And then maybe I want to do the same thing with these guys as well. Put them in loose formation here, here, and here. Hey, that's not bad. My mortars are doing a little bit of damage to these walls. Okay, that's progress. That's good. I wonder if this hill is kind of helping out with the angle. Because I feel like on flat ground, it's not as good. Okay, let's get in here. Wow, we already got the gate down. So, yep, let's go. And, yep, let's put my guys back in close formation and they can go in here. And make sure you help out your brothers in arms. Don't let them die alone. So go, go, go. And then archers, you guys can come forward a little bit here. Put you back in close formation here and here. And how are we doing on this side? Okay, this side we're not doing as well. Only 9% damage on this wall, so yeah, this mortar needs to try to pick up the slack a little bit. Yeah, falling a little bit short there. And let's try to bring up my general cautiously a little bit on this side. And then how are we doing here? So 50% damage. Okay, so feel like we're making some progress, and now we're starting to miss our shots, unfortunately. But what I can do is I can bring my archer unit up on this side to try to get some shots into the rear of these guys. In fact, you can do the same thing. And let's go ahead and send units from my right flank into this meat grinder as well, because I don't know if this is going to be opened up. So let's go ahead and send my Ghazi infantry, Muwahid foot soldiers, go, go, go. Let's get in here. And then let's send my Nubian spearmen in as well. Yeah, my Nubian spearmen are running away. Yep, I should have sent in some reinforcements a little bit earlier here because those guys got chopped up. Yeah, man, these guys are fighting hard. I mean, they have a 6-star general leading them, so that's... Ooh, man, my archers are running away as well. Okay. Jeez, oh Pete, is this not going to go well for me? Yikes. Let's see, what else should I be doing here? Is my general taking shots? Yes, he is. Okay, let's back him up. Let's back him up here, and yeah, let's send the rest of my infantry in. And yeah, hopefully they can get the job done. Let's see, archers on this side shooting into the rear of these units, so hopefully we can get some shots in here. Looks like the angle is pretty bad. Jeez, oh Pete's, these guys are fighting very, very hard at the castle gate. Yikes, yeah, my army is taking a ton of casualties here. Might want to send the rest of my units from my left flank over as well and just force our way in because, yeah, my mortars, after doing so well at first, they kind of stumbled here and they're not able to get past this wall for me. They're still just stuck at 50%. Yeah, the mortars are not doing well. And I still, yeah, here's the thing. Like, once I kill these last few 11 Mamluk cavalry, I still need to have enough soldiers to break down this gate so I can get in here and kill these Mamluk handgunners and these other units back here. So, yeah, this is just step one for me. This is a bloody, bloody fight. We're just about finished with this. There's only one Mamluk cavalry left, and man, oh man, he is fighting very, very hard. That might be the general, in fact, but yeah, my mortars are just struggling. They're not taking down these castle walls. They're not doing their job. We're 67% on this castle wall, and there we go. The general's dead, so yeah. That should make a difference, because he was a 6-star general, so he was giving a fantastic, like, huge combat buff to this army. So if we can get past this gate, if we have enough guys to do so without my army breaking and running away, let's see if we can get in here. Desert archers, you get in here. You as well. Go, go, go. Yep, desert archers, go, go, go. We need everyone up here. And let's bring my general closer, because once we take the outer wall, I believe that this outer wall and these stouters stop firing at us. And then let's have my mortars stop shooting, just because they were useless, and I don't want them hitting my men. And yeah, there we go. Let's just kind of get down to this gate. And unfortunately, my men are all going to be taking fire from this inner wall now, so I'm going to have my guys spread out. Let's get you guys in loose formation so that you can take as few casualties as possible. That's always dangerous, just because what could end up happening by being in loose formation, you're putting your units at -2 morale. So you're kind of trading their morale for their numbers, and hopefully, you know, hopefully it evens out. We have the gate now at 80% damage, so we should be getting in here pretty soon. Hopefully my army is going to be enough to, you know, defeat the rest of the army. There we go. They're done. Let's get my guys in here. And what do we got? Mamluk cavalry, Abyssinian guards, and the Mamluk handgunners. So yeah, let's hope that I have enough to get the job done here, because my army is beat up. They are banged up. Let's bring my general. Let's keep him behind this wall, because I think that this center structure still shoots arrows, even though the inner wall stops shooting arrows. So let's get in here. Moahid foot soldiers versus Mamluk cavalry. I think I should have the advantage here. Let's make sure my archers are shooting in here. Let's bring in Ghazi infantry to support with their armor piercing. That should be really good for me. And everyone else, like, come on guys, you need to get in here. Let's go. Let's go, 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 go. This is going to be a tough fight. Yeah, they are coming in really, really hard. Let's send, actually, let's see, Moahid foot soldiers. Yeah, you go in as well. I want my archers shooting at their handgunners, actually. You guys come in as well. Archers, come in, you can shoot the handgunners. And yeah, spearmen, you come in as well. These spearmen, make sure you're engaged at will so we can get as many attacks in as possible. And let's send my Saharan cavalry actually after their Mamluk handgunners, just to get them off the field. And yeah, they're sending their Mamluk handgunners into combat, actually. Okay, so let's just go in here and try to beat them. Looks like they are breaking off some of my soldiers, so that's not ideal. Man, oh man. This is a bloody, bloody battle. Let's get around here with my archers and see if we can get some shots into the rear of these Mamluk cavalry. And yeah, yikes, my Nubian spears are breaking. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, God. Oh dear. Yeah, it looks like... yeah, that's not good. My general's running away, and it looks like I'm not going to be able to pull this one off. Yeah, that's tough. That is really, really tough. I can still get a few more shots in here. Because this archer's...
Eternal shame. Your
Jesus, my
general is a
general's
prisoner of
captured.
the enemy.
Holy crap. Damn. Okay. So yeah, now these guys are going to get cut down trying to run away. So unfortunately their route is blocked. Yikes, man. That is tough. That is tough. Yeah, it's tough when you can't actually break a hole into the walls, you know, when you have to force your way through a single pathway and then you can't actually get around the guys that are guarding the wall and you can't actually surround them and cut them down faster. You can be put in a tough spot. Let's actually see if my mortars, like, yeah, they're not... Can they shoot these units? No, they're out of range for some reason. What about you guys? So yeah, some mortar shots are coming in. Can we shoot these units? Got some shots coming in here. Let's see if we're gonna make contact. Nope, that was like way off. And it looks like they might be making... Yeah, it looks like they're gonna be sallying out and going after my mortar crew, which is not a bad idea. This mortar crew is like way out of range as well. So what I should probably do is withdraw my mortars and yeah, call it what it is. It's just an awful defeat. That's what it is. There's no other way around it. So let's just try to save as many men as I can here. And yeah, we might, you know, what's unfortunate about this is that whereas before this garrison was going to starve out by the end of this turn, now that I've killed a few of them, they might actually have enough supplies to last a while. So the siege might end up actually going on longer because I ended up attacking them. So that's not good. I might end up having to go right back in here for another castle assault. And yeah, that's bloody. I mean, yeah, they're just down to 16 mammal cannon gunners, 25 Abyssinian guards, and then 20 Mamluk cavalry. And they don't have their 6-star general anymore, so that's good. And I do, you know, have more soldiers available, so there's that. And if I can find a way to keep that port, then, in fact, if anything, it's probably going to be more important now that I keep my port than it was before, right? Because I'm going to need to get this army out of this province as soon as possible. So, yeah, let's just kind of withdraw my forces here. You can exit out of the battle. And bad stuff. Man, oh man, I only killed 80 and I lost 787. Yikes. Yeah, tough stuff. Tough when you don't have actual artillery that's meant for breaking down fortifications. Because, yeah, attacking through a chokehold is not... It's never ideal, honestly. Never is ideal. So it looks like the Italians are fighting someone. I'm not sure who they're fighting. The Danes, perhaps. And they want me to pay 968 florins to get back my noble that was captured, that 4-star general, and also 84 men. I'll pay it just because it's a nice thing to do. I did lose a Dow in Skagerrak. Okay, that's unfortunate. They got sunk in a storm, but I do have other boats. Yeah. And then the Khan of the Golden Horde has died as well of an illness. Okay. And so, yeah, right. So, yeah, Nicaea has fallen to my soldiers. And then it looks like... So now it's a fort level building. So it went from castle to a fort. It's so confusing. I don't really understand that. But I did pillage 3,550 florins. So yeah, it's interesting that they didn't really factor into the fact that, you know, I killed more soldiers, so there should be more supplies to go around. Nope, they just said it's over. So that's that. I doubt I'm going to have that port left, but I'm going to have to check in on that. Fortress is completed here in Valencia, and same thing in Granada. And yeah, that general who I got back, it's a little bit unfortunate. So he did not enjoy the process of being captured and ransomed, and instills a fear of being captured in all his men. This makes them less likely to rout, but makes them harder to command. +3 morale, and then -1 command. It's a really weird one. This is a really weird one. +3 morale, right? So, -1 command. That command is going to give... So considering that he was a 4-star general, and he's giving +1 valor for all 2 stars that he has, is going to be giving +1 valor for every soldier on the battlefield. So as a 4-star general, he's going to be giving +2 valor to everyone. What are they getting with valor? So they're getting +2 morale for each point, and then +1 attack and +1 defense for each point. So altogether, he was giving a +2 attack, +2 defense, and +4 valor for every unit in his army on the battlefield. Now that he's losing that, he's going to be doing what? It gets a little bit more complicated because now it's down to the 2 stars is going to be giving the 2 stars of his 3 stars is going to be giving +1 valor to everyone that he's leading. But from that extra 3rd star is going to be giving that extra point of valor just for units that are in a close proximity to him. So that does make a difference. But then +3 morale does kind of make up for it a little bit. But the guys aren't going to be fighting as well. They're not going to have that +1 attack and +1 defense from valor, that they're getting from command points. So yeah, it's definitely a weird, it's hard to like calculate, in your head the pros and cons of this one. But in any case, that's that. I got him back. And the port is still here. Okay. Wow. Now I'm really confused. Huh. Well, I can't move these guys right away because in this turn is the turn that they're being returned to me. So if you look here, this army is returning home after having been ransomed after being captured by the enemy. It will not be available to command until next year. So that's the way that works. And yeah, captured. Yeah, poor guy. So I can't leave Nicaea in this turn, but you know what? I may as well assign the governorship to someone just to make sure I can get a little bit more money off of it. It's making 420 florins, so I can probably make a little bit more. And it is surprising that I wasn't able to cause another civil war amongst the Egyptians by destroying that Rabat. That was a little bit... Yeah, that was a shock. I don't know why that was the case, because, I mean, this guy... Is it still, like, zero influence? Yeah, like, what the hell? What the hell? I don't understand. But you know what? That's why we're doing this. I gotta learn these things over time, I suppose. So this is man, oh man, gosh, I spent so much time in the beginning of the episode talking about, attacking the Sicilians, or attacking the Poles, or attacking the Hungarians. And then what do you know, like the next turn, the Sicilian king just dies and he has no heirs. So the Egyptians, as you can see, are going to be kind of an issue, right? And now that I've taken a few of their provinces, they actually do have jihad targets for me. So that's a good thing, I suppose, in the sense that it gives me more targets to go after and potentially destroy their jihad markers and cause civil wars for their faction. But the bad news for that is that it kind of gives them justification for war, this continued war. And in fact, yeah, now I'm losing over 1,000 florins per turn. That's really, really not ideal. So I'm going to have to figure out my financial issue. It really does come down to the fact that I just have so many soldiers at this point. And I'm going to have to think about what I want to do with them. Because, yeah, I can't just keep sitting around and leaking money. I'm going to have to use my soldiers for something. And that's going to, be for attacking someone. And maybe that is just going to be Egypt, right? Because if they're just going to keep being annoying and, poking me in the side while I'm trying to deal with the Poles and the Hungarians, well, that's not going to fly, is it? So maybe what I do is, like, I don't have to take every province, right? I can just try to target the Egyptian family members and try to destroy the Egyptian, family line. So, for example, like the king is here, right? And then I'd look around at everywhere else and try to find all of the sons. Is there a jihad here? No, there's no jihad here. Let's see, is there any sons here? Are there none? Well, that's interesting. I just could not find any Egyptian sons right now. I may have missed one, although there's a way to check this. What I can do is this. I can put my assassin, pretend like I'm going to attack the Sultan, and it should tell me here. Is it? No, okay, I put that on my spy. I do not want to attack my spy. Let's go after the Sultan, right? Killing a faction. His heir will take over the running of the country. Okay, so there is an heir. There's an heir. Okay, so I just must have missed it. For a second there, I thought there was no heir. But that would be the thing, right? I would have to find the heir, and then maybe what I could do is try to trap him and kill him. And that doesn't necessarily have to involve taking all the territories. All that has to involve is taking just maybe a handful, perhaps. So that's going to be the idea going forward. But that is all going to have to wait till next time. As always, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and thank you very much for watching. I've been Conostep, and this has been Medieval Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.